Hello, my name is Jessica and I'm doing the subject risk management. So I will start to talk about my business idea, which is open a company to sell shoes online in Australia. My idea basically is produce the shoes in Brazil and bring to Australia and sell in the Australian market. I think it's a really good idea because I was working in a shoe shop and I realized how hard it is to find good shoes, good price, comfortable, different styles, different colors. The shoes here look almost the same for me at least. And I realized when you have something different, the customers really like it and they have a big problem, which it is. Or the shoes are made in Europe, they are really, really expensive, even if they have good quality. It's can not everybody can afford that. Or they are made in China and the quality is not that good, sometimes really bad actually. They don't have a lot of styles, they are not comfortable, and they are cheap but doesn't worth it buy bad shoes just because of the good price. So it's hard to find something in the middle, like a good product with good quality, different styles, different colors, and that's why I think my business idea is good. So I have been working this idea in the last months, and I decided to have a partner because I think it's good to have someone to share the responsibilities and cover some parts of the business that I'm not very good or I don't know really well. So all our communications between us, our meetings, our communications with the suppliers, partners, outsourcers will be done by emails. So we have everything recorded, and it's gonna minimize the risk to have misunderstoods. So the records and the spreadsheets that we're gonna have are gonna help us to realize if we are achieving our goals, what we have done, what we have to fix, what's not working well, what numbers are not matching what we were planning to achieve. I think it's a good way to realize and try to fix having everything recorded, our communications with each other, our communications with the suppliers, with the outsourcers. Basically, everything needs to be recorded because in our meetings, we can talk about that, we can try to adjust what we have to adjust. So, in this subject, we analyze all the risks we could have. They are basically financial, political, technological, regulatory, human sources, among others. So I'll give you some examples that what could happen and the consequence and the risk that we can have. So my first example is failure to recognize financial health. The consequence could be insufficient financial support. It is possible to happen. The consequence is moderate and the risk is tolerable. The second example is low sales. The consequence of that is affect the budget and we could have poor cash flow. It is possible to happen. The consequence of that's major and the risk is very high. My third example is robbery. We could lose money and equipment, products. It's rare to happen. The consequence could be catastrophic and the risk is very high. So I try to create action plans about what we could do to fix that, to avoid these problems or to minimize damage. For the first case, I think we could decrease the expenses and try to attract new customers. For the second case, we can check the popularity and the trends of the items before we produce them. We can check the season, the weather forecast before we start to sell that. And in the third case, we will contract an insurance company to cover all the risks we could have with the products and equipment. I chose these three cases. I think they are the best examples, but in my assessment, you can see more options and more actions that I create to follow, to try to avoid problems, to minimize the damage and the risks. And that's it. Thank you very much and have a good day. Bye.